ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Couch Coaches with Mac and Ryan. Let's go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Couch Coaches. Hello, I'm Coach Mac, and this is Coach Ryan Duncan. How's it going?
How you doing, Mac? How'd you enjoy the big game? We need to see if we can call it the Super Bowl. Screw it. I do love like when it's like the official marketing, and you can tell who paid for the rights to say Super Bowl and who didn't. Like this whole weekend, I was getting ads for like a grocery store chain out here that didn't. So it would just be like, "Do you have snacks for the big game?" Like it just. So
yeah,
silly.
you don't want to say super,
NFL.
and it's like, wait a minute, can't say it because they can get you for that.
The NFL is going to send a cease and desist and a check request. But yeah, did you enjoy yourself this Sunday? Or
It was boring as fuck.
yeah, and that's going to be a good preview for our conversation later. But now Mac is going to get on his soapbox. Mac, what do the people need to hear about today?
Okay, what the people need to hear about today is what they need to hear about is the fact that here's the thing. I'm sick and tired. You know what grinds my gears is the like we need. This is Matt grinding his gears after the season's over with. These are my gripes, and I feel like this is not going to be fixed. But I feel like the NFL needs to fix a lot of things, and they're still not fixing the main things. Do you know, Ryan, that since 1999, we still have no idea what the fuck a catch is. So we have no idea what a catch is. It's just.
I think I'll make an argument that my quarterback knows what a catch is. I think Burrow, when what was it, the one that screwed over the Bills, I think he called it right. I think I get what you're saying though.
Yeah.
I think it should be something like it's kind of core to the sport, catching the football.
Yeah.
And it should be one of those clear-cut like rules, and I think it is time for them to like have a catch committee to make the decision.
Yeah,
like,
they need
we can get past this kind of drama.
Yeah, like my here's NFL and I'm probably not. Here's what I say the NFL needs to do. All right, NFL, this is what you need to do. Okay, you need to get Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Chris Carter, and Steve Martin. Huh?
Ocho Cinco, man.
Ocho Cinco, yeah.
If we're gonna make it this kind of legendary receiving core,
yeah,
we gotta for like catches. Ocho had some spectacular ones. I like where you're going with it.
Yeah. Ocho, I would put Terrell Owens in there, but I don't know about that.
The NFL will never work with T.O.
No,
they should.
They should.
Okay, but T.O. will be there outside the building. Yeah,
he'll be outside the building just yelling at him like, "Hey, this is what I would call." But they need to get just get good just Hall of Fame receivers.
Yeah,
and just get together and legit tell the NFL, okay, NFL, this is a catch. Okay. This is a catch. They didn't need to talk to actual Hall of Fame receivers who actually did it. And that's what they need to do. Just go.
I think the NFL should I think they should go for exciting too. So I think there should be a little bit more flexibility where like, I'm going to be honest, I kind of miss, I don't know, does college football still do it where if you get 1 foot in, it's good?
Yeah, they still do it.
I kind of like that. I kind of like adding some, I want more catches, honestly. So okay. I kind of would be okay with like
if we do that 1 foot type of deal, then make it harder on them. Like make the end zone a little bit more tighter or something. You know?
Yeah, but there's definitely I'm in favor of rules that make the game more exciting. So I think they should go in and just kind of make it more like, does he have control of the ball? Okay, it's a catch. I don't need all this process of whatnot. Like, it's kind of one of those, the infamous saying in front of Congress, porn is one of those things, I know it when I see it. A catch is something you know when you see it.
You know when
and
you see it.
Honest to God, just think they need to have that kind of rule implemented too, where it's like if everybody on the field can agree it's a catch, it's a catch. Like
It's a catch.
what
Yeah,
are we doing here?
It's an issue. My issue is like, okay, so they'll sit up there and they'll get the ball, they'll catch the ball, they'll get to the ground. And there has been times where, the defender, the wide receiver, he caught the ball, clearly caught the ball. But what happened was, one part of the football hit the ground as he was hitting the ground. I'm sitting there like, my God, his knee touched the ground. I don't understand.
It is an egg-shaped ball. It's gonna let's just, as long as I get it. There's gonna be cornerbacks who are like, that's just helping the receiver, and I'm like, I guess, but like, man, it's okay. Like it's okay.
Yeah,
A defense has won Super Bowls back-to-back years. It's fine.
it's fine.
Like, we don't need to complicate it. I really, truly don't. In my opinion, it needs to be an example. I'm glad you brought up the ground. It needs to be an example where the receiver used the ground to make the catch.
Yeah,
where it's like clearly touching the ground versus it's in his hands and it touches the ground too.
Yeah,
it's like don't give me that.
Yeah, it clear for me to be incomplete. It literally clearly got to be him like juggling him, like it's just like that bullshit. Not like no, it's like his hands underneath it, and you can clearly see that it's by an inch. And I was like, okay, now if it's by an inch, I mean, I'll be honest, if it's by an inch, I'm not gonna get mad about it. Like, you know what, an inch. Let them have it. Even if it's the other team, I said, let them have it. It's stupid, but but sometimes they'll give up bullshit just to do it. But yeah, this is the kind of thing. And I'll tell you one thing they do not need to do, and I think a lot of teams want this in the NFL. Do not let them challenge. Do not, for the love of God, NFL, do not let them challenge penalties. Please, please, please do not let them challenge penalties. I hate that shit. Like, ever since that one penalty, because you're gonna have, coaches throwing penalties like that's not offensive pass interference. That is offensive pass interference. That's bullshit. Okay, cool. But it's literally getting to the point where it was out of hand. But yeah, that's Max soapbox in the nutshell. We need to know what a catch NFL.
It is odd that we are still having this debate. It's the 60th Super Bowl, for God's sake.
Yeah, I know. Like, we have been doing this. Like, we have been doing this since 2000. The reason why I say 1999, because 1999 the refs fucked us out of the Super Bowl because they sat there and said, "Hey, that's not a catch. His knee touched the ground." Well, the ball was juggling out his hand.
No, I get what you're saying. And then, so speaking of balls and catches, because I don't know what else to describe the Super Bowl 60 other than a dominant defensive performance and an otherwise AFC team that had no business being there. I think I said it to you, and I've said it to a couple people. The Pats had no business being there, and they got exposed. And I hated being right. Me
too. I hated being right,
because it meant a bad game. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Drake May's done, and I'm not going to sit here and like talk about arm length because I'm sick of that conversation. I don't care how long his arms are. The man has no technique. Like, he was getting bull rushed. You don't get bull rushed at the NFL level like that.
No.
No, and so his arms could have been twice as long and it wouldn't have mattered because he had no. Campbell just didn't have it, and
Campbell didn't have any type of pass rush or anything to do with it. It was just not looking good for him.
I can't believe I think it was a Super Bowl record. 14 pressures allowed from Campbell.
Oh wow, yeah, it was terrible. That was really,
and that's on Josh McDaniels, man. Because after the first quarter, you need to change your play calling. Throw in a linebacker. Throw in a running back. Throw in a tight end to help block.
They were sending cornerback blitzes, so
you gotta adjust your games. And that's, to me, I think the rest of the name of the Super Bowl was the Pats had a terrible coaching game and didn't adjust And I don't know if that would have worked. I don't think it would have worked. I think the Seahawks defense was just that much better.
I think I'll give credit to this. This is the reason why this Super Bowl was kind of boring, was the fact that one, you know, look at last year's Super Bowl. Yeah, it was a blowout, but it was fun. There were some fun times, fun plays, fun interceptions, fun stuff.
Well, I think using the comparison, the Eagles kept scoring. It added some excitement of okay, at least the Eagles are scoring and dominating, whereas the Seahawks, it was 4 field goals through the first half.
Right.
And don't get me, and I'm going to steal this from another podcast, but Mac, when did you know the game was over? When were you watching it? Did you go, oh, the Patriots don't have it? How early in that game did you?
Honest, I thought it was over when they got that last field goal.
Once it got to 12-0?
Yeah, once it got to 12-0, I was like, this game over. There's no chance in hell they're going to figure this out, because I felt like... You said what?
The Pats weren't scoring 2 touchdowns. No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
And I'm a little disappointed we didn't get the shutout, because I was really rooting for that. It's never happened before.
I felt like it was... Here's my issue with the Pats. I felt like the Pats were, like I said, we agreed that Seattle was the better team, the more dominant team. I felt like if you got the Houston Texans in that game would have been, I'll be honest, that probably would have been a slugfest, because both defenses are good. I think they would have had more tough time with the Buffalo Bills, because the Buffalo Bills offense is just he'll will his team to win.
So I think of all the AFC playoff teams, I think the Texans were the only ones that could have played well because of the defense. Nobody within the AFC had the solution. So why do you think the Rams and Stafford did so well against the Seahawks this year? In my opinion, it's because they had 2 number 1 guys, and Devontae Adams and Puka. So it's kind of like the greatness of that Seattle secondary. It's tough to cover 2 guys that are legitimately number 1.
It is.
No one on the AFC had 2 number 1 wide receivers. So I think you got to go in the opposite direction. Okay, who has a defense that could have shut down Darnold? And Kenneth Walker, Darnold didn't have a great game. I think it's a little misleading. People are like, oh, Darnold didn't have a good game. No, he had a good game avoiding mistakes.
Yeah, he played game manager.
There were so many near sacks that Darnold avoided that I was really impressed with, because the guy that I was expecting to be, dodging guys with his feet was Drake May, not Sam Darnold.
And he was just staying back there like he just staying back there.
No, he got the yips. He got the yips pretty quickly. And I think the Texans might, and I still don't think they win. I think out of the AFC, I think the Texans give the closest game, but I still think Seattle. I think Seattle drags all AFC
teams. I think Seattle.
All them teams.
Yeah. There was the moment I knew Seattle was going to be the Super Bowl winner was the way, it wasn't the fact that they drugged, it wasn't the fact they beat it. They drugged San Francisco. And when they drugged them in that stadium, I thought, nobody's beating Seattle. This is going to be the team to beat. And I felt like, in my honest opinion, I stand by what I said. I think nobody in the NFC was going to beat Seattle in that playoff game. Yes.
Oh no, but I do have a fun experiment. So say the Pats still win the AFC. Tell me if you think the following teams beat the Pats the same way the Seahawks did. If the Rams make the Super Bowl, they're drubbing the Pats, right? I think they're still, because I think the Rams offense would just go all over that Patriots defense, and I think Drake May would still have the same pressure issue.
I think it will be a different story. I think the Patriots will keep that game tight, and I think they could win it. I think we're seeing something
the Rams were the second best team in football this year.
The Rams also had a problem. Like I said, in that game, here's the reason, and you're talking about the Rams, David Close came to the Seattle Seahawks. That game should have been a blowout, but somebody wanted to taunt and that
Yeah.
lit fire under their ass, and they went and they started playing.
I'm not making the argument that the Rams are almost as good as the Seahawks. I think that's ludicrous. I just think that the Rams were significantly better than any AFC. I think the AFC this year was so down, and I think the only reason the Pats made it is because they didn't face a good They didn't face a good quarterback all 4 games.
No,
But they finally faced a competent offense.
yeah,
So,
they faced the offense with a pulse.
I have the belief that the Patriots defense would have been exposed by a guy like Sam Darnold. Or not Sam Darnold, Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford.
He picks him up. I think Stafford and Adams and Puka would have destroyed that Patriots defense. I think it would have been a blowout. I think this one's a blowout. Pats fans I don't care about 13 points of garbage time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. This is a blowout. You can say whatever you want, Patriots. This is a blowout. This is a blowout. The only reason to score. Let me be honest here, Pats fans. You should be giving Christian Gonzalez
he should be the highest paid
cornerback in the league. Yeah, because Christian Gonzalez is the only reason your ass didn't get blown out even further. That game.
If Christian has 1 or 2 less plays that are spectacular, like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that as a cornerback kind of plays.
Yeah.
That's a 40 point. That's a 40-point drubbing.
That's a 40 burger. That game should have been even worse. But I'm telling you right now, you should have been blown out. But Christian Gonzalez,
I was just wanting to make the case that if the only team the Patriots might have had a shot against was the Packers, if it's out of all the NFC playoff teams, Packers and Panthers are the 2 teams the Patriots beat. I forgot about the Panthers.
Panthers the Panthers would have been there by some grace of God. Got to that Super Bowl, they would have got swamped in that daggone Super Bowl. I don't believe.
I'll say this: I think 5 out of the 7 NFC teams win the Super Bowl this year, I think.
Panthers versus that Panthers team versus that Patriots team. Bryce Young. I'll be honest here. Bryce Young is throwing 5 interceptions.
Yeah, so there's a reason they didn't advance. But my point is, I'd obviously pick the Seahawks. I'd pick the Rams. I'd pick the 49ers. I'd pick the Bears. And I would even pick, who am I forgetting?
Eagles.
The Eagles, yeah. I'd pick all 5 of those teams over the Pats. Yeah. I really think the AFC has some soul searching to do, because right now, currently, you have the top quarterbacks in the league are all in the AFC, and clearly these teams are struggling to construct rosters around those guys.
Here's the thing, and I know you're gonna hate to hear this, but this is the first season without Pat Mahomes in the playoffs. So maybe we're seeing that maybe if we get a Pat Mahomes, even though we got Pat Mahomes' playoffs, not Super Bowl. Pat Mahomes' playoffs, because usually when we get a Pat Mahomes playoffs, usually if you beat Pat Mahomes, you're gonna feel super power. It's like getting that mushroom in Super Mario. You're turned into you get a superpower and you get in the Super Bowl. You're just ready to beat to play everybody in that Super Bowl to the wire. So I felt like without Pat Mahomes, and I'll be honest, if they had Pat Mahomes, this might be a game. I'm gonna be honest, because Pat Mahomes can turn it up. And
I don't know. I'd make an argument that the Chiefs I think Pat was one of his worst years. He's got some soul searching to do.
He do. And I think we'll talk about that later.
And I don't think the Patriots, if you swap out Mahomes for May, I think it's the same result, because I think the offensive line issue.
Oh, the offensive line was dog shit. Yeah.
I think the wide receivers on the Patriots are very bad. And the Patriots, to me, this is the most clear-cut example of a team that lost the Super Bowl that will miss the playoffs next year.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I'm hearing they said, they got the highest cap rate. I said, yeah, but they got to fix. That offensive line need to be fixed.
There's not all pro linemen just out there.
Yeah.
Like, very rarely does a guy become available. So the Patriots have some massive issues. It's not going to be the resurrection of the dynasty. Sorry.
No. I'm hearing a lot of people screaming that they can get a wide receiver. I was like, I said, do not.
I think they're going to try to get Brown. I think Mike Vrabel is going to want to rectify that, because if you remember that trade, you remember how pissed he was when the Titans did that.
Here's my
So I
issue
think
with
he'll
that.
want to get Brown because Brown's done in Philly.
Oh yeah, Brown's done in Philly, but here's my issue. This is why you don't go get the wide receiver before you get to fix the line. Because you don't fix the line and you go and try to go after the wide receiver, if your O-line is trash, then guess what? They're going to figure it out. Teams are looking at that Super Bowl against the Patriots, and they're going to copy the same shit that it's copycat league, and they're going to beat them.
Yeah,
you were once the hunt.
I think it's what you're saying. I think you only can get a wide receiver who is like an all-pro top 3 type of guy. Like that season when the Bengals made it, Jamar was playing at an unreal level that kind of mitigated how pitiful the Bengals. People forget how terrible that Bengals offense.
Oh yeah, that offensive line was trash.
And this is why I said this to myself after that Super Bowl. I'm like, oh, playing well with a bad offensive line isn't for everybody, right, Drake May? Because as badly as the Bengals offensive line played, Burrow kept them in that game against the Rams. Was that the last good Super Bowl? I've seen people talking about it.
Oh, no. That 49ers game was pretty good.
One?
The 49er one was good.
The one after, was that the year after?
Yeah, that was the year
before. Niners lost to the...
Niners lost to the... That game went to overtime.
Here, Super Bowl champion.
Why you look that up?
I just want to... Yeah, you're good. I'm going to just chill. I wanted to check things.
Just chill for a minute.
Oh, God, I'm an ass.
I apologize.
You're good, brother. You're good. I'm an ass. No, I forgot. So I didn't watch this Super Bowl because I was mad about the AFC title game. Yeah, the year after the Bengals lost to the Rams, it was Chiefs-Eagles 38-35. My mistake. There's been good Super Bowls since then. But we've had back-to-back years of defensive Super Bowls that were kind of boring because the AFC team just wasn't ready for it. It's just kind of ironic that it was so ugly and rough.
And the Super Bowl commercials were terrible. This is just...
Oh my God. That's going to be our note. The commercials were shit.
They were
Except
shit.
The irony, the NFL commercials were the only good ones.
Yeah.
Like the coach one, oh my God, they were all bad.
They were all terrible.
They were all terrible. And speaking of terrible...
Go ahead.
Speaking of terrible, we got the last Mike Bobo award of the 2025-26 season. Mac, who is the winner of the Mike Bobo award from the NFL this time around, ladies and gentlemen? Take it away, Mac.
Okay, so the Mike Bobo award goes to the person who had everything going for them, and they just fucked it up in the end. So the Mike Bobo award goes to Riddell. Yes.
Josh McDaniels. I don't know how that guy still has a job in the league. I really don't. Because you could make an argument all of his success was when he was with a cheating organization.
Yeah. Josh McDaniels, like, terrible. His whole game plan was like, okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing because here's the thing. You look at that Super Bowl, the Seattle Seahawks brought cornerback blitz not once, not twice, but 5 fucking times. So, and these Patriots fans are trying to compare Drake May to, I'm sorry, he was your GOAT. My GOAT, Thomas Patrick Brady Sr., tried to compare it to him, and I was like, okay, so if you send a quarterback blitz to Tom Brady, good luck, because Tom Brady's
going to shred you.
He's going to shred the shit out of you.
He's going to shred the shit out of you.
He's going to kill you.
Ludicrous.
Yeah,
but I think Josh McDaniels, there's an argument to... No, I'm going to make the argument. The dude's just coasted off of having 2 good quarterbacks. His success in Denver, once they caught him cheating, they lost. Once they caught him cheating in Denver, the man didn't win again. Mm-mm. And then he didn't have real success until they got Drake May. I am sorry, but there there is a difference between an offensive coordinator who makes good quarterbacks and offensive coordinators made by their quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And Josh McDaniels is the most clear-cut definition of, I had the greatest, most successful quarterback of all time, and I have Drake May, this kid who has so much potential, which is a tough pill for me to swallow because I don't want Drake May to be good. But he's got so much upside. And right now, if I'm Drake May, I hate McDaniels because his play calling left me battered. Like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing?
They're not. And here's the funny thing about this: they ain't gonna let Josh McDaniels go because, I mean, who you gonna get to replace him? Who you're going to get to really replace him? I believe he'll be fired. I'll go ahead and make a bold prediction.
He's gonna regress next year and he'll get canned.
Yeah, I think Drake May. My bold prediction is Drake May is going to have the most hugest of quarterback slump, Super Bowl slump. Their Super Bowl slump,
which is fine. It's his third year. Like, so it's okay that happened. Well, it's what is. It'll be his third year.
Yeah,
it's
he's
okay.
going to have the worst Super Bowl slump that you will ever see a quarterback have.
And because it's the AFC East, they'll still win like 8 games. That's what's crazy.
And
I looked at their schedule. They're still going to get like 8 games, even though I think they're going to be a worse team next year.
They're going to win 8 games because of the AFC East, and I think the Bills are just going to drug them next year. I think this is.
It's going to be weird because I think, like, I guess a little bit of a spoiler. I think the Bills are going to become the Steelers next year, where they win their division convincingly. But because they're not very, I think the Bills are in for a little bit of tough love now after the coach left or was fired.
Yeah.
I think it's about to be. I think Buffalo is about to get a reality check.
Yeah.
Because it's not the coach who should have been fired. I mean, granted, I'd have fired him too. It should have been the coach and the GM, because this is the guy who has failed to build around Allen, and yet he got promoted. I think the Bills will win the AFC East next year. I just think they'll then lose to a wild card team in the first round. I don't think they're going to get the 1 seed or anything. Right. I think everybody in the AFC East is going to be worse next year. Because they play the NFC West next year.
Ooh,
they're all going to get worse.
They're going to get worse. Yeah.
So I think that's a good segue. We're talking worse. Mac, I want to ask the question to you. Is this the most boring Super Bowl you have ever sat through?
I got to think about this for a minute.
I have an answer. I don't think it is.
I don't think
I'll
it is
say
either.
why. I think it's because me and you appreciate defense. So we can appreciate
defense.
We can appreciate how well the Seattle secondary. Like, what was so crazy about that game? They only blitzed 7 times.
Right.
And they still were getting pressure. Seattle's cornerbacks, I love a cornerback who closes the gap quickly and makes the tackle. And they were doing that all game. They were in his face. I love Walker's performance, the patience. Like, that's shit you can't force a running back to do.
Right.
That's natural. And that was all natural to him. My answer is going to be Super Bowl that was 13-3 Patriots when the Rams lost Todd Gurley and they couldn't do anything. But it wasn't like the Patriots just destroyed them. The Pats played a boring, horrid game too. So that's my answer. I think the Super Bowl with the Pats versus the Rams, which was back in... so that was Super Bowl 52. Or wait, no, Super Bowl 51. No, I am so bad at the Super Bowl 53. Super Bowl 53, guys. I'm sorry. Super Bowl 53, the most boring Super Bowl I've ever watched. Granted, I've only been watching Super Bowls since the 2000. My first Super Bowl, everybody, was Patriots-Rams, the first Brady Super Bowl.
Oh, my God.
That was my first one that I remember. So I'm not counting anything I don't remember. In all my years of watching the Super Bowl since then, that one to me, the Super Bowl 53, it's so bad I couldn't even remember... I couldn't even remember the name the name of the Super Bowl. I just think that one was a slog. Oh, shit. Or second place might be the Steelers over the Seahawks in Super Bowl 40.
Bad. That was terrible.
I think the reason that one sucks is because the officiating affected the game.
Oh, the officiating was terrible.
Like the Seahawks have a legitimate claim that they lost the Super Bowl because the refs in February 5th, 2006 decided to give it to Pittsburgh that year. That was ugly. That was one I saw. That was that's Ryan in high school. That made me go, what the fuck is the NFL doing? Like, because I hate the Steelers. I'm a Bengals fan, and I just saw the NFL give the Steelers a Super Bowl. So I'm a little pissed about that. So I hope my conversation has given Mac enough time to look for another game.
no,
I
already have my answer. I'm just trying to go over the stats of the Super Bowl that I'm looking at.
Oh, I'm excited. All right, let's hear it.
For me, it is this really, really, really for me, it's Super Bowl 40. It's the first to me. Speaking of Seattle, it's funny that Seattle does boring Super Bowls, and you were talking about the Steelers one.
Oh my God, when the Legion of Boom presented itself?
Yeah, that was a boring ass Super Bowl.
Because think about it. They shut down statistically the greatest offense in NFL history.
That is true. But
that's amazing.
Oh no.
And it did suck.
It sucked. Here's the reason why it sucked. Not taking away nothing for the Legion of Boom. They earned, not saying that they didn't earn their victory because they earned it. It was just boring in the sense that when I think of a boring Super Bowl, I think of everything around the Super Bowl. And I think that Super Bowl in particular, the halftime special was not spectacular because I'm not a fan of Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is like fine. Bruno Mars is good in like a department store, but it's not good for a halftime show. No, not good for And I'm not gonna lie to you because I remember the Super Bowl. I remember I went to a church event to watch the Super Bowl.
Oh boy,
yeah, and during it, we were just all watching it, and then we just found out it was a blowout, and then. During that, I'm telling you, this is how bad, when you know a Super Bowl is this boring, when you are playing cards during a Super Bowl, you got a problem. We were sitting there playing Tunk during the Super Bowl. That's how bad this Super Bowl was. It was so boring. There was nothing.
The Super Bowl, didn't it open up with a safety?
Yeah.
Because Peyton Manning missed the snap?
Yes.
Woo, doggy.
This was a terrible Super Bowl. But not because the Legion of Boom showed itself, was because it was a boring Super Bowl by Peyton Manning. Because Peyton Manning could
expect more.
Yeah, you expect more. I wasn't expecting them. Let me be honest. If you were to tell me that, hey, Seattle was going to beat them 48-8, I would have said, you're insane. I don't believe this is going to happen. Like I would say that. It's probably going to be a close game. Peyton Manning is going to play against this great defense, and he's going to show up a little bit. But 48-8, Peyton Manning had to play like dog shit, and he did. 2 interceptions, 2 INT, 1 touchdown. Terrible performance.
Between your pick and my pick, I think we have the worst of the worst.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
But.
I just think about some of the really good ones that we got when we were kids that were incredible. Do you remember? Well, obviously you remember the one where the Bucks won, but that was amazing. That was amazing for you, but for me it was kind of like, okay, the Bucks are just clearly better. This isn't very fun.
Well, it was amazing because here's the thing. When the Bucks won their first Super Bowl, I got to see it, but I only saw bits and pieces of it. I don't really clearly remember that Super Bowl.
I'm curious, what was the first Super Bowl you remember watching from beginning to end?
From beginning to end? Honestly, from beginning to end, the first Super Bowl I saw was Super Bowl. Okay, so the Bucks was 37, correct? Is that right? I think it was Super Bowl 37.
Yeah.
Super Bowl 38 was the one I saw. The Panthers.
So the Pats beating. Now, see, that's a good one. That's a real. Do you remember that game? Was great.
That team was good. You didn't think.
Oh, who was that? Who was the Panthers wide receiver?
Steve Smith.
I loved his name.
Steve Smith. Mushi Muhammad.
I loved him. He was so. That was a fun game.
That was a fun one. That
was a good. Even though you don't like the Panthers, I think you can admit that was a fun, entertaining.
Oh, that was a fun game. That was a fun game in the end.
That was a fun game, and then obviously, I think we're in agreement. Actually, I'm curious. Since we're on this topic, we'll make this real quick. Most exciting Super Bowl. I already have an answer for me.
Most exciting Super Bowl. So what do you mean by exciting? Like it was
just you had a great time watching it, and it came down to the wire. So it can't be the Bucs because that was pretty much no blowout.
Honestly, you want my honest opinion? Yeah. My honest opinion, and this is no dig at this team.
Sure.
28-3. I had, even though I was dogging on the Falcons, it's so amazing. Because here's the funny.
You're taking the popular pick. That currently is ranked number 1 all time.
Yeah, that was so amazing because I'll tell you my story. Here's my story of that one. Me and my mom were watching. It was me, my mom, my dad, and my brother. We were all when we watched Super Bowl. We also watched it as a family. So me and my mom and my brother and my brother and my dad. We're just watching the Super Bowl. Everybody left the house. They're going. The whole family because they left when it got to the second quarter. So my brother is like leaving, and he's like, this game over. He left. My dad fell asleep. And me and my mom looked at each other and we said, oh man, this Super Bowl over. I said, it's not over. Tom Brady gonna bring these jokers back. It's not over. I don't know if he's gonna win it, but he's gonna make it a game. Watch.
So you're not okay. I appreciate that because there's some people out there who want to claim like, I knew Brady was going to win it. Nobody
going to win it. I thought
nobody outside of Tom Brady knew he was going to win it. Now,
nobody knew he was going to win it. But I thought that Tom
he'd make it a game.
He's going to make it
because he doesn't get blown out. Brady does not get blown out.
No, Brady does not get blown out. He's going to make it a game.
He'll make it a game at the minimum.
He'll make it a game. Even against the Philadelphia Eagles, it looked like a block. He made that game.
So I'll share mine. I think it was the Steelers over the Cards. I think that's
a good one. I love that.
Because that one was full of moments that I don't think you'll ever see again. Flipping James Harrison going the length of the field.
Then you got Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald just decided, like, Larry did everything in his power to try to win that game.
Everything, like, if you want, shout out to Larry Fitzgerald. I'm happy you made the Hall of Fame. Because if you if you're a Hall of Fame voter, you can look at that game and you can literally say, this is the moment where Larry Fitzgerald became a Hall of Famer. He put everything on the line in that Super Bowl.
And then it took literally, I would argue, the greatest catch in Super Bowl history to beat.
Yes, Antonio Holmes, like
that really catch.
That catch was amazing.
I hate the Steelers. I hate Ben Roethlisberger, and I have to swallow my pride and go, that was the throw and catch. And I remember being devastated because I was rooting for the Cards. Because I think you get this as a fan of a team that has struggled. When you see another bad team succeed, you're kind of like pulling for them in a way. As a Bengals fan, I'm rooting for the Cards to win.
No, I get that. I was rooting for the Cards, but I wasn't.
Then you gotta chalk it up to like
I couldn't get upset because I was like, I gotta give him for I was like,
that was such a that game. Yeah. I'm still technically. I think I could make an argument. I'm still chasing the high of that game in a Super Bowl. I've enjoyed some Super Bowls, but nothing as much as that game. Probably because I had no real investment. Yes, I was rooting for the Cardinals, but it was just watching it, and it played out well. So it was a lot of fun. I don't think we need to talk about this because I think everybody has talked about it. Spoiler alert: Drake May had the worst Super Bowl run of all time. Which I think this is a stat that's kind of hard to do because you have to get to the game itself. So if you're playing poorly, you're only getting one game. Even worse than flipping, what's his guy for the Giants? Do you remember the quarterback for the Giants who lost to the Ravens? Kerry Collins? Yeah. Somebody has supplanted Kerry Collins in the history book. And Drake, just take it as a learning lesson. Try to improve. But yeah, Drake May now has the worst playoff run of any quarterback in the history of the league.
I'll be honest. I think the Seattle Seahawks are pissed because they wanted that. Now, here's the funny thing. I watched a video on the Baltimore Ravens, the 2000 Baltimore Ravens team, And they said when he got that kickoff return for a touchdown, he said they were pissed on that sideline. They said that you got Ray Lewis reading out the stats.
Punt, because that was they would have been the first shutout.
You would have been the first shutout. He was reading like punt, in game. He was like, we were the best defense, and he was like.
Fun fact about that year: who was the second best defense that year? Do you remember that one? That got outshined by the Ravens' greatness?
Who?
The Titans.
The Titans were good.
The Titans, I saw the stat because I follow a Titans guy. He's like, it sucks that Titans defense gets overshadowed. Because you look at it, the Titans allowed the third least amount of points in a season, the same season the Ravens had.
Right.
It's like, oh, that sucks. So that's funny. I thought that was interesting. I didn't even know that.
Like, the Titans defense was on par with the Ravens that year. I would say, I still stand by what I said. I still stand by what I said. I'll stand by this 100%. I really think that the 1999 Bucks would trump that 2000 Ravens team. I know I'm saying I'm biased, and I know a lot of people say I'm crazy. I mean, they held.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
The great show on turf. They held them in check.
I don't know.
They held that.
Man, that is such a.
They were scoring.
I wish it would have been Ravens, like against anyone besides the Giants that year, because that was
Ravens. I wish it was Ravens Vikings, because that would have been a great matchup. Then you really would have had no answer. Like, okay, it would have been like,
Drake May, keep your chin up. Good luck, kid. More power to you. We're gonna make a really crazy exit today before we are done. It is February 10th, 2026. Teams have not made draft picks yet. Teams have not signed guys. It is fresh off the Super Bowl, and Mac and I are going to tell you who's going to be playing in the NFC and AFC title game next year. I will start this bad boy off just to give Mac a little bit, since it was my idea.
Go ahead.
I think it is going to be the Baltimore Ravens and the Los Angeles Chargers in the AFC title game next year.
Okay.
And I think in the NFC, it is going to be the Los Angeles Rams and the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
That is my
that's bold.
So the reason I'm not doing this to pick on you, I saw this stat and I couldn't resist it. The last 4 teams to make the Super Bowl, do you want to know what they all have in common?
What?
They played the NFC South that season. Who plays the NFC South next year? The AFC North and the NFC North. So I am saying the Ravens and Bears, because the Bears are my favorite team out of the NFC North, and my Ravens are the team I think is going to win out of the AFC North. I think those two are going to go on a run. It's only 2 years, so it's not a real trend yet. Like, it needs to happen like at least 2. It needs to be 4 seasons in a row for me to go, oh shit, this is the indicator. But all 4 teams that made the Super Bowl, the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Patriots, and the Seahawks, they all played the AFC South.
I really hope you're wrong. I would hate that.
Hey, the Bucks gave the Seahawks the toughest game of the year and beat them, so there's that silver lining for you.
I am not Atlanta. I'm not an Atlanta Falcon fan. I do not hold no fucking. I only want to win the Super Bowl. I don't literally go in a fucking say, oh, we beat Super Bowl champion. It's easy. No, fuck that. They won.
No, I'm glad you have that mindset, because I can't stand people like that. Like, the Bills fans of late have been kind of exposing themselves.
Yeah.
Because good God, man, like, get over it. But okay, so Ryan's way too early. February 10th prediction. Ravens, Chargers, Bears, Rams. Mac, if you were to pick 4 teams to play for a spot in the Super Bowl next year, who are you picking?
Honestly, hate me very badly.
I resisted the Homer pick, so if you want to go Homer, you can go Homer.
I'm not going Homer. I don't believe the Bucks.
Okay.
I don't believe the Bucks are going to the Super Bowl.
Because if you were about to tell me Bucks versus somebody else, I was going to be like, okay, Matt.
No, I'm not crazy. I'm not stupid. I understand.
Right.
I mean, I would say that the Bucks might make the divisional round, but they won't make the NFC Championship. If they make the NFC Championship next year,
maybe when we talk after the draft, you'll feel more differently about the Bucks.
Yeah,
But I get it. Like right now,
I'll say
I
this.
can't.
I'll say this right here, right now. If the Bucks make the NFC, you hear it right here. You can clip this, do whatever you want. If the Tampa Bay Buccaneers make the NFC Championship in 2027, I will legit tell you that I will fly to Tampa, and I will find some way to build a literally like petition to the mayor of Tampa Bay to build a statue for Todd Bowles. Like they
tell me you were gonna go find Todd Bowles to shake his hand or something. No, that's great.
I am going to build a statue for him. Like a statue. Like there is no chance that man is going to do that. Like I think divisional round. I wouldn't be surprised divisional NFC championship statue. I'm getting you a statue. Like you earned it. Because
so that was fun. Okay, so it's not the Bucks. All right, so who's playing in the NFC title game next year, Mac?
Okay, so NFC. You want me to go NFC or AFC?
Yeah, since you're the NFC guy, I'm the AFC guy. Sure.
Okay, so NFC. I don't believe. I still. Here's the thing. I think. Here's my issue. I believe in the NFC Championship game. I believe that TJ is going to love me. I really hate this team. I hate them.
Oh, so you think the Eagles are about to reload?
I think the Eagles take a step forward. I think they're going to get there again. I think. I'm
so curious. Who are they playing?
I think the Eagles are going to be playing. For some reason, for some crazy convoluted reason, I think Detroit's going to get in there. I think Detroit's going to get back.
So you are a believer in Detroit. I'm a little. I want to believe in Dan Campbell. I like Dan Campbell, but man, I don't like Jared Goff anymore. He made me look stupid in the last playoff.
Well, here's the reason. I think the thing about the reason why I'm picking them over, picking them to go to the NFC Championship is one, they have their cap situation is not terrible. They can sign certain players that they need. Their defense is not trash. Their defense is actually pretty good. I think all they need is a couple of secondary players, which this draft is stock full of. I think they can get their secondary strengthened up a little bit. I agree, Jared Goff probably not the guy. However, I think Dan is. This is the thing about offensive coaches. When you got an offensive coach, whoever you pick is going to be. It's not going to be the sexiest pick because you want to put your impression of that offense onto that man. So he's not going to. You're basically both brainstorming. So I do like that they got Prenzel, and it's him and Prenzel because Prenzel comes from that Andy Reid type offense where Dan is more so of a West Coast guy a little bit, sort of a West Coast, and I think them molded together will bring something crazy together. I think that's going to do something for them. I think offensively they'll be even better next year. I think they're going to be a tough team to beat. I think Detroit's going to get in there. And as for the Philadelphia Eagles, same way. I think
they won a Super Bowl last year. They have everything you need.
They won a Super Bowl. Their defense is still good. Vic Fangio is going to have the boys playing tough.
I see that.
He's going to have the boys playing tough. I really. The only reason I'm taking a gamble on Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts. Here's the key, and I think he's going to do it. The difference between them going to the NFC Championship game and them literally just making either a wild card appearance or a round or divisional appearance is Jalen Hurts must step up and stop being the scrambling quarterback and start being a pocket passer. And that's the issue. And I know Philadelphia fans don't want to hear this, but he must be a pocket passer. And I don't mean by throwing burning every time. I mean dropping back the pass and actually use the threat of using the run to actually build up the pass. And I think if he can do that, he might get them to the NFC Championship game. That's all I got to say. And also, like I said, he has the experience out of everybody. He's been to the title game, 3 years in a row? He's been to the title game 3 years now. So he has experience in getting to that game. He has experience of getting to his team to the Super Bowl. He has experience winning the Super Bowl. So he knows how to
No,
do it.
I think that's a good pick. Who do you like out of the AFC?
AFC, a little different. I don't understand why you picked the Ravens. I think the Ravens are just a little bit too.
I picked the Ravens because I think Jesse Minter is going to be that guy who unlocks the mental.
Minter is going to be the guy.
Because right now, at the end of the day, I think Minter took the best he could out of the Chargers and made a really good defense. I think he'll do the same for the Ravens, who have more talent.
I think he'll do that. I think he'll do that, but I think I'm looking at it like a. I think his is going to be sort of like a. Because I don't think he's going to be John Harbaugh year one. Because John Harbaugh year one got the Ravens to the AFC Championship game. I don't think he's going to do that. I'm picturing him probably getting into the wild card round, playing the hell out of a team, taking them down to the wire, and then losing, and then they're going to go with that narrative of Lamar Jackson bullshit.
Well, right now, like it's not like if we're talking after the draft, and I feel better about the Bengals defense, I'm picking the Bengals next year. Yeah. But right now, I can't because
fair.
The defense, I still need to see some additions added.
Fair.
But I see what you mean about the Ravens. I am making the mental jump that Minter is going to help Lamar get through his postseason struggle, because the young man, when it's the biggest stage, struggles, and I don't know why. He's got all the talent in the world. He just needs to make it happen. So I'm hoping Minter can do that.
Pissed at me. Here's where you're going to be pissed at me. I believe one of those teams is going to be the Buffalo Bills. I think the Buffalo Bills are going to the NFC. Well, no, I take that back. I agree with you because I believe they're going to be that first round out type of deal. I think. Yeah.
Okay, so no Bills. All right. So Bills fans get mad at both of us.
Get mad at both of us. I think. No, I'm saying Bills fans, you're going into the playoffs. I don't think you're going far. I don't think. Yeah. It's not the fact I don't believe in Josh Allen. I think you're going to have.
Wait a minute. Are you? So you keep saying I'm going to be mad. Are you about to say the Kansas City Chiefs are going back to the AFC title game? Did I just predict that? Did I get that from you?
Look.
Yeah.
Look. Pat Mahomes is going to figure out a way. It's delaying inevitable. The man is going to get there. He's going to do it again. The only reason he did it's his worst year. And even in his worst year, he had them close. They got kicked out of the playoffs, but he had them there. He just had unfortunate things happen. I
think the reason I'm not high on the Chiefs next year is I think it takes 2 years to rebuild. Like I think that roster outside of Mahomes is awful, and they need 2 full drafts of nailing the picks
here's my thing about this. Here's my plan. I think what they're going to do is they're going to draft another wide receiver in the first round. The first round pick is going to be a wide receiver because they don't need a line. They're going to fix that wide receiver core. I think they got a good interior tackle. They got a great one thing about me and picking my teams is interior pressure is my key, and they got defensive tackle to do that. So they got good interior defensive tackle, so they can get there with their defense. Now, when they win, I don't know, but we'll see. But that's my prediction: is I think the Kansas City Chiefs will make another run at it. And as for
who are they playing? I am curious. Who are they playing?
Here's the thing. I really feel like this is the mystery box from Mario Kart. Because it could be anybody. Because I don't believe in any of these teams. I mean, anybody could beat them. I could say the Denver Broncos, but also they could get kicked out. I could say the Buffalo Bills, but I feel like they're not going to be good. But
I think if CJ Stroud just plays competently, it's probably the Texans.
It's probably the Texans.
I really think all the Texans have to do is bring the defense back and draft a couple offensive linemen.
I really want to say the Texans. My heart is saying the
Texans. Chiefs would be a really crazy AFC Super title.
I think that's probably going to be the AFC Championship.
Because I think that Texans defense would make Mahomes' life horrible.
Yeah. I think that's going to be the AFC Championship. I don't know. Like I said, once again, I think the Chiefs are going to be there, but I feel like the other side is. I'm just saying. I'm just picking. Just so you know, I don't believe in the Texans. I'm just saying right?
But you don't believe in anybody else, so that's the challenging part.
Yeah, that's the challenge. But I feel like it's the Mario Kart mystery box. So I was like, oh, I'm not surprised they made it. But like, I had no faith in whoever. I just have more faith in Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so for Mac's predictions, he's got Eagles taking on the. Why am I forgetting? You said the Eagles. The Eagles, Lions, and then you have in the AFC the Chiefs and the Texans with the iffy on the Texans, which is fair. Yeah. And then my way too early prediction is Ravens and the Chargers and the Bears and the Rams. So no consistency between us, which is great. So that means when we're wrong, we're both wrong because it's February. Wrong. We have no idea.
Yeah, no idea. I think I'm going to be wrong. It's going to be some crazy team to come out and just like, oh yeah, I didn't see that team coming. Nope.
Yeah, no, trust me. There'll be some surprise teams. So my rant's going to be pretty simple. Max probably heard me message this before. I think the NFL Hall of Fame needs to rework their system because I don't understand how a guy like Ken Anderson can have. I think I saw the stat. He has 17, or there are 17 quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame. He has more touchdowns than. There are 13 quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame who have less passing yards than him. He won an MVP. He had a long career. I do not understand how a guy like Ken Anderson cannot be in the Hall of Fame. It drives me crazy. No offense to Craig. I get it. You won 3. This is my problem with the Hall of Fame. It is an individual achievement museum. When these guys I do not believe rings should have any bearing unless it's like trying to decide who you're voting. Like I don't think a guy like Craig, yeah, he won 3 Super Bowls. He was never the best running back in the league. He was never at the top of his position. And I just think Ken Anderson's not going to make the Hall of Fame, and it's going to be a travesty. I truly believe that now, because I think this was his last year. Because I think there's about to be a log jam of quarterbacks where he's going to die. Maybe after he dies, they get him in, but I just don't think he's going to get in. It's going to be a shame. And I'm not a crazy Bengals fan. I'm not asking for Ocho Cinco or AJ Green. Like, I'm not asking for Bengals players who are fringe Hall of Famers who really shouldn't get in. I'm asking for a guy like Ken Anderson, who was the best quarterback in the AFC until they drafted Dan Marino. Like, just let Ken. That's all I'm saying. He was the best quarterback in the AFC. If we could talk to Bill Walsh today, he would be pumping his fist for Anderson. Because Anderson is the guy who helped him develop the West Coast offense until he went to the 49ers with Montana. So Ken Anderson, Big Willie, those are the 2 Bengals I'm like angry for. That's it. Just those 2 guys. That's it. I think the Bengals have been around long enough to where 4 Hall of Famers seems fair. Because there's been 4 guys who've been good enough to get in the Hall of Fame. Anthony Munoz, Ken Riley, Willie Anderson, and Ken Anderson. Like, let them in. That's it. Just stop. I wish the voting base would just admit their bias. They don't like guys from teams that suck.
Right.
Unless you're Joe Thomas, which blows my mind. It kills me. They can understand that Joe Thomas is one of the great tackles of his era, but yet for some reason with Willie Anderson, because he's on the right side, they don't get it. It drives me crazy. That's my rant.
No,
the Hall of Fame needs to work on it.
Here's my thing. You said something about Roger Craig. We'll get back to that. Here's my thing. As a Bucs fan, there's only
he's in. He got in. Like he made it in. So like I even if I feel the way I do, he's going into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, no. Ken's gonna get in there eventually. There's some players I feel like in Bucs history should make the Hall of Fame, just like you. I believe that there is a place for there's an argument that I could literally make for I can make an argument that that Simeon Rice should be in the Hall of Fame 100%. The man got 100 sacks. He was literally dominant during those 3 years in Tampa. He was also dominant in the Arizona Cardinals when he first started. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
I think he probably is in the same class of he's not getting respected because he wasn't doing it on good teams. But right? Because I remember his time I remember his time in Arizona. That was Arizona.
He was a beast in Arizona, and we grabbed him from Arizona and brought him to Tampa. He became an even bigger beast because he was a Warren Sapp and all. He was just as important to that Bucks team as in that Super Bowl win with the Bucks. Another one that I feel like should be in the Hall of Fame is Ward Dunn. Ward Dunn should be in the Hall of Fame. And everybody keeps talking about Ward Dunn for the Falcons. And I say, fuck that, because this is why I don't have no remorse for the Falcons, because they keep claiming Ward Dunn like he was drafted there. And he's like, well, he was drafted here. We loved him. Y'all didn't love him. I was like, and it makes me mad. I just want to I just want to pull a Falcons fan and just like, we wanted to resign that man. We wanted to resign him. But your ass outbid us to get him. So we wanted him in Tampa. You just outbid us. So don't act like we hated him. We love Ward Dunn. We just didn't. It's just the fact that we got y'all that your stupid ass owner wanted to outbid him and take him to your sorry ass team down there in Atlanta. Now you understand why Buck fans and Falcons fans are a little bit upset with each other, because they want to claim players that we have, and they automatically say that's our player. And it's like, no, it's not. It's your player, but he's going to retire a Buck because he played most of his career snaps with the Bucks. You know, Panther fans, I got over it a little bit with Keyshawn because it didn't matter because Keyshawn sucks. But you know, Ward Dunn was the one that kind of upset me, because it was like, this is upsetting because y'all motherfuckers acted like he was God's gift to earth for your team. And then when you let him go, after that season, you let him go. Guess who swooped in to sign him? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers swooped in to sign him. He had a decent season. And then y'all was hating on us like crazy, like, y'all did all this. I said, y'all didn't want him. Fuck you. We wanted him. And he did well. It was like, that's what I pissed off. But back on track.
All right, so I want to ask you the question, because I know you care about it because he's your guy. How mad are you going to be when Evans doesn't make the Hall of Fame the first ballot? Because he will get in, but it's going to take time, because there is, at wide receiver and quarterback, there is a log jam of guys. Are you going to be as mad as Pats fans were about Bill, or are you going to be like, it's okay, he'll get in?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about this. I feel like Mike Evans should be a first ballot Hall of Fame. However, if it's a log jam and he doesn't get in there, I understand it. I think he'll be on the very next ballot, and they're going to get him in on the next ballot.
Yeah, I think he won't wait long. I don't think he'll wait long.
Oh no, he ain't gonna.
I just think it's about to get real tough.
Yeah, it's got to get.
It's about to, especially quarterback. Like, man, that's why I'm worried. I in my heart of hearts, I have just accepted Ken's not going to get in, because I think because I don't think Eli's getting in anymore.
No, he's not.
Which I would be fine with that. Here's the thing. My whole argument is I don't think Super Bowl should be the deciding factor. It should be like a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
I don't think Eli Manning, for beating the Pats twice in Super Bowls, does not warrant a Hall of Fame career. Because outside of those runs, he was a mediocre quarterback.
Yeah. He
was not very good. And this is the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Good. This is a guy who, it's honestly last name at this point. That's the reason people push for him. If he was Eli Johnson, nobody would care.
Yeah. I think with certain people, with particularly in the Hall of Fame, I know you hate to hear that, but Super Bowl is a tiebreaker. And when you don't win it, that's what keeps you from getting in there. I'm
fine with no Super Bowls keeping you out if you're a mediocre guy or if you're a fringe guy. I just when I look at stats in the era you played in, I think it matters that he finished one of the passing leaders of all time.
Right.
Completion percentage.
So I agree with Ken Anderson, because next year we're getting Roethlisberger, we're getting Ben. We would have got Phillip, but Phillip played one more season.
I think I don't know. I don't know if Phillip gets in. I think he's a good barometer of if he gets in, maybe you have a chance, because if you're around Phillips, I wouldn't vote for Phillip. I like Phillip. I don't think I'd vote for the guy.
Quarterback wise, we're getting Ben, because Ben getting in.
Ben's getting in. Brady soon.
Brady's going to be the following season. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Peyton. Did they already do Peyton? Or is Peyton
Peyton's
coming
already in? Peyton's
Peyton's already in. Who am I?
Peyton's already in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. I don't know who else.
Maybe Ken has a shot. For some reason, I thought there were more quarterbacks.
No, it's
that were about to make this hell.
Ben. The only ones left is just Ben, because Drew was already in. I knew Drew was going to get in first ballot.
Yeah, because Matt Ryan's not getting in. Cam Newton's not getting in.
Cam Newton or Matt Ryan's not getting in. I don't get.
If Cam Newton could have had one more season like that, I would vote for Cam. But
I'm gonna get on my. I'm glad you brought up Matt Ryan. It's time for me to get on my soapbox again about Matt Ryan. Here we go. Look, Falcons fans, I want to say this to you. Matt Ryan's not a Hall of Famer, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, here's the reason. Matt Ryan has had. So you remember that MVP season that you keep like coming at me about how good he was during that MVP season? Full of bullshit. The man threw for 4,000 yards. Okay, so how many yards did Julio Jones get? He got north of the 1,500 yards. So you're telling me that Julio Jones had 1,500 yards, and mind you, 1,500 yards. Matt Ryan had 4,000. Take 1,500 yards away from Matt Ryan. That's a pedestrian 3,000, around 3,000 yards, right?
It's rough. It's rough, man.
And that's bad. That's bad.
And then you think about the Julio effect of like other guys are open because of Julio, and because so there's an argument. To me, I don't like rewarding guys off of a single season. Yeah, I need because I love Cam Newton as a player, but it was one season of true excellence, and then his body betrayed him. That's why for me. Yeah.
Here's the thing about Drew Brees. And I don't like Drew Brees because Drew Brees gets on my damn nerves every time he gets on broadcasting. But the stats are there. Drew Brees literally threw for what? He had, there was a period of time where he had 5,000 yards per
season. Every fucking season.
Every fucking season. And he was doing it not at a young age. He was doing that at an older age. Matt Ryan.
He was old man Breeze by that point, and he was slanging that rock.
And then even in his worst season, he threw for 4,000. So you're trying to tell me, Falcons fans, that Matt Ryan should be in the Hall of Fame because, Matt Ryan got his stats are he's like in the top 10 of quarterbacks. Cool.
Matt Ryan is the Hall of Very Good. Like he's the first ballot Hall of Very Good. Yeah, not fame. Like that's
not fame. He's never thought he was good. I don't think he's that good. I don't get me wrong. I think Matt Ryan was a hell of a quarterback.
He's the best quarterback in Falcons history.
Like, you're damn right. If you want to go like there, best by now. But that's not saying much because besides Michael Vick.
It's Matt Ryan, Michael Vick, and a bunch of guys. Like that is
slogs. Yeah, they're trash. Yeah.
So that's my rant. I'm mad for Ken because I think Ken was a legitimate, like top 3 quarterback in the league multiple years, and it just happened. It's not hit like he was. There wasn't the flexibility. So the Bengals were the Bengals. And Ken Anderson's playing the same era as Terry Bradshaw gets to ride with the Steelers. Like, that to me, like, I think I've said this to you in the past, and this is where I'm going to end it on because I know I'm dragging it out. I think if you swap if you put Ken Anderson on the Steelers and swap out Bradshaw, the Steelers probably win 2 more Super Bowls.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Terry Bradshaw was a fine quarterback, but he was not the reason they were winning. You give Ken Anderson you give him that roster in Pittsburgh, the 70s is the Steelers' decade by a mile.
Like, Terry Bradshaw was a garbage quarterback. Come at me, Steelers fans. I don't give a fuck.
All right, that's a great note to end it on. Me and Mac will see you guys closer to the draft because we're not gonna be one of those guys who fill you with bullshit. So we're gonna have a little bit of a break. Once we get closer to the draft, we'll talk about it. I need time to do some research on guys.
Yeah, next time we'll probably talk about what we feel like our teams need to do to get better. Maybe free agency will be starting to pop off. Maybe it'll be the start.
Yeah. We need more news because right now, me and Mac had to stretch it out today because the Super Bowl sucked. So we'll catch you guys in a couple weeks. Happy Valentine's Day. And I hope y'all have a blessed off season, and I hope your crews get better. That'll be it from Coach Ryan and Coach Mac. I hope you guys.
I'll say one thing. I'll take it to that. I hope every team does well except for the Falcons, from Kansas, and Saints. I hope all do well except for
Yeah, there you go. All right, so Mac made sure to let the NFC South know he doesn't like you. Bye, everybody.
I hate all of y'all. Bye.